You're looking at a 1964 Bally Mad World electromagnetic pinball machine. Overall, this particular Mad World is in good player's condition. It does have the usual wear and tear that you see on a 62-year-old pinball machine, but nothing out of the ordinary. Starting with the cabinet has the usual routed chips, dents, dings, small little repairs, paint wear, basically what I call the usual suspects on something that is pushing 62 years old. There's nothing out of the ordinary, and structurally the wood is in excellent condition. No issues with the wood whatsoever. The metal also is in that good condition. It does have a little bit of patina. You'll see that on the coin door and on the legs. The legs actually aren't too bad. The coin door actually for its age is not too bad either. This particular coin door does not have a key. I put a little sticker on there. We've had this one for about 3 years, and I got tired of forgetting I had no key and digging through the key box and not finding it, only to realize I should have just opened up the coin door. So that is there to idiot-proof the machine for myself. Leg levelers have been replaced on this one. This was in our game room, and it drives me bonkers when I can't level a game, so I put new ones on it. Call your attention to the front of the machine. This was done by a prior owner, but this button will start the machine, and it will also give it a credit. This one will just start the machine. So if you are already maxed out at 25 credits and you don't want to put any more in there, don't touch that button, you touch that one. Moving on to the play field. Oh, and I'm going to backtrack a little bit. I did put a modern grounded plug-in cord on this. These used to have the two prong, and so this one actually has the modern 3-prong, and on top of that, I went ahead and I grounded all of the metal on the inside with a ground braid. So that's all been upgraded as well. You move on to the playfield. The playfield also is in that good, maybe in that good plus player's condition. It does have some wear here and there, but overall it's still bright and shiny. The plastics are nice and clean. The rubbers are around that 3-year mark. I did shop this when I first got it. So it's still in really good condition. We didn't put a ton of plays on it while we had it. And I also hybrid the lighting system. And what I mean by that is these Bally light sockets are a little bit troublesome, and this one was no exception to that rule. And so where you can't see them, I went ahead and I put LED lights in there with Yopsicles actually. And they work really well. There's a little tiny bit of flicker. I thought the diode would be good enough, and every once in a while you'll see a little flicker on the amber or the special lights, but it's minuscule, and they work fantastic. Now, wherever you can see a light, I went ahead and just got brand new sockets from the Pinball Resource, and I went ahead and I put those in, and then I went and installed incandescent lighting. Same with the back box. Those Bally light connectors in the back there, I did not replace any of those. Instead, what I did is I cleaned them up, and I did put a combination of incandescent lighting in there and then also LED. It just mattered, you know, wherever you got that little bit of flicker, I put an incandescent bulb in. Wherever there wasn't one, I put the LEDs. Now, speaking of the back box, the back glass itself is brand new, or it was 3 years ago. So it's in excellent condition. It's a 10 out of 10. There's zero wear on it. Mad World is such a rare game, I figured I'd spend a little extra money and get a new back glass for it. This was made by Koos out of the Netherlands. Many people in the pinball community use him. He does a fantastic job. It is an exact reproduction of the original, and it looks just fantastic. Now, mechanically, what I did to this game 3 years ago, I went ahead and I cleaned all the stepper motors. I went ahead and I cleaned all the score reels. They all work great. The machine plays as it should. Every once in a while, it gets a little sticky. The yellow pop bumpers every once in a while get a little bit sticky. But other than that, it plays fantastic, and you'll actually get to see me play it here in a second. So there's not much you'd have to do to this one. Like I said, it is in that good condition. But with a little bit of TLC, you could probably get this into that excellent. There's not many of these Mad Worlds left, and if you go on Pinside, these are actually highly collectible, these Mad World ones. So we had a lot of fun with it, and yep, we're just ready to change it up a little bit. So gonna go ahead and start a game, and you will see how it plays. And the 2-player works great too. In fact, maybe what I'll do is I'll put a 2-player on so you can see both of them. You see both light up, and it doesn't take long. I have it on 3-ball, but just a little bit on how Mad World works as I understand it, because this is an old game, so I don't have a lot of data on it. But this is one of the first to use. Some people call this a multi-ball. I call it more like an extra ball because you can choose to use it as a multi-ball, or you can use it as an extra ball after your ball drains. In fact, the shoot again will light up once that ball goes through. But essentially what happens is if there's no ball in here, if you go through that C gate, and then I believe you have to go through that one too, but this is where I just don't remember. But it will open up that ball gate, and that ball gate will turn purple color, that free ball gate. You shoot the ball in there. Once you do that, you can't, it's only a 2-ball game. There's 2 balls in this game. It'll shut it down in there. And now from here, as you do your A, B, C, and Ds, you can either get specials, or you can set it up where if you take one of these lights off, or between balls, it may turn a light on or off. When you do that, it will, once you go down that rollover, it'll drop it down 1. And it's a ton of fun because you just never know who's going to get the ball, because you'll see that as I play a 2-player game that, you know, you don't know which one's going to get the ball, and hopefully I can get the ball down because it's kind of challenging. So it is the old school where you bring the ball up manually, and we'll go ahead and play now. And those pop bumpers, and you can see that it can be brutal. I'm not really nudging right now, but those are supposed to alternate back and forth like that. That was a pretty common thing to have. So when they're lit, you get 10 points. When they're not, you get a whopping point. And you'll see that for a 2-inch flipper game, this thing, like, you see how the light went out there. So I'm going to try to get another one. Oh, I got 2. So now I got to go through that. Oh, there it went. So, okay. Now you see the shoot again. All right. And now I have this extra ball, which if I could have kept the other ball in play, I could have shot it and I would have had multi-ball, which was super cool for 1964. And that's one of the reasons why this game is so popular. But if you're playing a 2-player game, you can see how now the 2-player, you know, they stole that, and now they get to shoot again. I think I was on 2-player. I can't keep track. Yep, I was on 2-player. So now we're going to try to light it up again. We're going to try to get through that C gate. You can see everything is strong and snappy. The rubbers are, that's what I get for talking and playing. The rubbers are still in great shape. I had to replace a light bulb in here, and I took them out. They have very little memory on them. I would guess they're still good for another 3, maybe 4 years. But you can see for a 2-inch flipper game, it's got some oomph to it. A lot of these are, some of these games are pretty anemic, but this Ted Zale design game, he's got some pretty strong flippers in here. Okay, so now you see the free ball gate is open over there. We're going to try to get a ball in there so you can see how that kind of works. And not that time. Let's see if we can get it this time. Okay, same deal. Now I'm on the other player, and you can steal that free ball. Not that it really matters who sets it up. You just want somebody to get that shot in there so you can get that, that ball into the gate. And you can see that everything switches great. You see I lit my special there. It does alternate. Same with the 10 points there. Oop. All right, well, hopefully we can get it on player 2 here. And I don't know if it goes in between games or if the game resets completely. I guess we'll find out, because really the games don't take that long. We'll just do a single player after this. You can see all the score reels reset and everything. Oh, almost had it. And that was terrible. All right, so the game's gonna go over. I'm gonna go ahead and restart it. I did clean all the score reels too. I don't know if I mentioned that. Maybe I did. I can't remember. Okay, so the free ball does reset, so now we gotta trigger it again. And maybe won't, but Now you can see you can also open the free ball with either over there when it's lit, that kind of loop-de-loo, which is a cool shot, or if I can get the C up there, maybe, just maybe, I can get her open and then get in it. That's half the battle. So see how it wouldn't open yet? Because I got to go through one of those C gate, or I got to get through that purple gate. Nope, didn't do it again. There we go. She's locked back on. Whoa. All right. Well, you get the gist of it. I wish I would have, when I was practicing, I was making the shot better than I was there. And so, you know, you can play anywhere from a couple of games to, heck, I played 10 or 11 games before I could get the ball to drop down. So, but that's kind of part of the fun with this Mad World electromagnetic pinball machine. As I said, this is an overall good condition 1964 Bally Mad World. Everything works like it's supposed to. Everything's been cleaned how it was 3 years ago. And hey, thanks for watching.